The only question is, how much will I lie in this video? Stay tuned for my July reading wrap-up to find out. Salutations! Welcome to Loving the Language of Literacy. My name is Sophia Lee, and today I'll be doing my July TBR. So I have 9 books that I would like to get to this month, but the whole point of the am I lying or not thing in this video intro was I am absolutely, positively terrible at sticking to TBRs. And the thing is, as more books find their way into my home, I obviously change it up and I feel like I want to read this book instead of this book. And my best laid plans in the beginning of the month end up going completely wayside by the end. I'm just going to show you these 9 books. It is already actually the 8th of July when I'm filming this. Yeah, I haven't been too on top of filming TBR videos, but it's summertime and I am sincerely hoping that I will read more in July than I did in June, but I'm traveling, I'm going to camp, and we'll just see what happens after that. The top 3 books that I really want to get to this month are ones that I just received in the mail actually today from my best bookish friend ever, Nath from Codes and Rights. She's just such an amazing person and a friend. She said that she had some extra ARCs laying around from her coworker and that she would like to give them to me. So of course I said yes because they're ARCs and I like them. You know the answer to that. The first one is Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groden. As you guys may know, I read The Walled City back in the month of February and I absolutely loved Ryan Groden's plot, the intense character development and the dynamics, as well as just the entire premise of the story itself. This book is pitched as Codename Verity meets Inglourious Bastards, and while I have not read or heard of Inglourious Bastards, I absolutely loved Codename Verity, and this appears to be a historical fiction novel set in the year 1956 in a world where Hitler actually won the war and he is currently ruling over the entire world with the rest of the Axis powers. This book follows a girl named Yael, Y-A-E-L, who has escaped from a death camp and is competing in this intense motorcycle race in the hopes that she will win and be able to assassinate Hitler. There seems to also be a lot of just political drama and family dynamics, and I am just so freaking excited to read this book. The next book I have here is I Crawl Through It by A.S. King. I read Everybody Sees the Ants in 2014, and while I wasn't in love with the book itself, I absolutely adored the writing style and the characters, and I think that if I don't like this book, I will at least end up respecting it immensely because that's what you do with A.S. King. This follows 4 accomplished teenagers who are on the verge of exploding, and of course this is probably metaphorical unless any of them are into bombs, which that might happen. They're all dealing with something huge in their lives, like senseless high-stakes testing, of course it sounds like anyone in Common Core, the lingering damage of date rape, the buried guilt and grief of tragic loss. And the gist of what I'm getting from this book is that it's about these 4 characters and them finding each other and just gradually unraveling and unwinding because society is not paying attention to them, which happens a lot to teenagers when they slip through the cracks. And the cover actually is, I just figured this out like a second ago when I was talking, it's ABCDE, and for anyone who's in school or has been in school, you all know that means it's a Scantron, and instead there's the words I Crawl Through It in red over the Scantron letters, and I just think that the cover design alone is extremely predicting of what the actual book is about. By the way, this comes out September 2015, and this one comes out October 2015. The next arc I have here is The Accident Season by Maura Fowley Doyle. That might be how you pronounce it. And it comes out in August. This book apparently follows a girl named Kara and her entire family, and every around October, fall sort of season, some strange things start happening. As the tagline on the front says, accidents happen, our bones shatter, our skin splits, our hearts break, we burn, we drown, we stay alive. There seems to be just this like mystical, mysterious element behind it. Her father has died, her family is just struggling to go through this accident season, and it's pitched for fans of We Were Liars and How I Love Now with a haunting, sexy, magically realistic YA debut. The synopsis alone is amazing, the cover is quite thought-provoking, and I just am so looking forward to what's in this book. Next up, we have Challenger Deep by Neil Shusterman, which I'm going into not knowing that much about. I absolutely love Shusterman. I've read Everlost, I've read the first 3 books in the Unwind Dystology, I've read Bruiser, and I kind of consider him the Margaret Peterson Haddix of young adult fiction, just in the way that he makes you think and he challenges you with these premises that you basically just haven't considered before. And this book is a bit unusual for him. It follows a boy with schizophrenia, and and what I've heard, I could be wrong about this, but what I've heard is that this is loosely based on his son. He actually got the permission from his son to include sketches and drawings, and this book obviously has strong themes of mental health, and we just haven't seen anything like this in young adult fiction before. The next 5 books I want to read are all either on ebook or just I don't have them in my hands. The next book on my TBR for the month of July is a Jenny Han book. Recently I read P.S. I Still Love You, and oh my goodness, I loved it even more than To All the Boys I Loved Before. Jenny Han just has such addictive writing that has such strong themes of diversity, and just love her so much. The next book I'll be reading is either Burn for Burn or The Summer I Turned Pretty. Both are contemporary. One is about revenge, one is more of a fluffy romance, but either way, I'm absolutely certain I will love it because just Jenny Han, she's amazing. Next up, I have How to Love by Katie Cotugno or Cotuno. I have absolutely no clue how to pronounce her name, but I've heard a lot about the main idea of this book, and I'm going into it really not knowing that many details. Apparently it follows a teenage girl who gets pregnant, and her ex-boyfriend who got her pregnant is apparently a real jerk, and everyone says that he brings the rating down for the book. Everyone has also just mentioned about the gritty, hard-hitting rawness of it, and I'm just so looking forward to a book like that. Then I have Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson, which has been hyped up by Margot of Team Epic Reads to no end, and I've heard a lot about just the beautiful writing style, the hard-hitting characters, and this follows Tiger Lily from, you know, Peter Pan. I've never actually read a book surrounding any characters in Peter Pan. I haven't read Peter Pan either, so yay me. But I'm so looking forward to reading this book, and I'm going into it not knowing that much. The next book I want to read is Armada by Ernest Cline, and I've heard some mixed reviews about this, which I'm kind of worried about, but nonetheless, I will most definitely be reading it this month. I absolutely loved Ready Player One, and it is probably the best book I've read so far in 2015, if not like second or third. Armada follows just the classic video game nerd who is playing this video game called Armada, and then one day the aliens and the spaceships from Armada apparently come down to Earth, and he and a lot of other gamers are supposed to defend. And I heard that there are a lot of classic tropes and the plot doesn't quite go the way it could, and there's a lot of 80s references again, but nonetheless, I'm sure I will just love the writing style and the story itself. Lastly, what I want to read this month, and you're going to kill me for not having read this because any contemporary lover like myself should have read it by now, and that is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I want to read the entire trilogy too, but I'll start with Anna. Backstory, I actually started this 2 years ago. I got 70 pages in, but just dropped it for no apparent reason that I myself know now, but I'm willing to give it another shot, and I'm about 5% through it, and Anna's just really annoying me so far, but I'm hoping it'll get better, and I just gotta read it because I'm a contemporary lover. Tell me in the comments below what you're reading in July, if you're planning to read any of the same ones I am. Maybe we can do a buddy read, and just what you're looking forward to most in July. Anyways, keep calm, read on, and I'll see you in video soon. Goodbye! And if you enjoyed watching this video and watching me just ramble on and on about books that I really should check the synopsis of beforehand, give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more from me, just hit the subscribe button. All my social media is at SSL Loves Books around my face somewhere. And if you want to stay updated with me, I highly suggest you follow me there. Plus, I'm just addicted to Snapchat and kind of just always on it.